Good morning, my friends. CJ Curry here, back with another Prize Picks video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 different options for you on the Prize Picks board. We've got a massive NBA slate today, a total of 14 games, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of different directions, a lot of different ways that we could go. But first and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please get subscribed now. Ring that bell, turn on all notifications, and definitely slap a like for me. I'm gonna set today's goal of 400 or more likes. Once again, you guys have been knocking it out of the ballpark, and I believe that you and me together, we can get those 400 likes easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So if you're not playing on Prize Picks yet, guys, use promo code Curry. You're gonna get yourself a 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit on Prize Picks, all the way up to $100. They're matching you dollar for dollar, making your first entry on Prize Picks completely risk-free. I've left a special link for you down in the description. Again, take advantage of that 100% instant deposit match when you use code Curry. Guys, take a look at the Prize Picks board here. There's a lot of different options. Like I said, it's a massive NBA slate. Here are a few, though, that I particularly like. Starting with Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. He's going up against the Indiana Pacers today. He's at 25.5 points and rebounds. So we're going to head over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Now, there's a lot of plus EV plays, as you can see here on the Prize Picks board. The optimizer makes it easy to find these plus EV plays. What it does is it goes out and looks at all the different sports books. It strips out what they call the VIG or the juice from those lines, and then it presents you with true odds or fair odds of a particular player prop hitting for the over or the under. So in this case, we're looking at Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. So we just type in his name. And when you go down here to the points and rebounds line for Jalen Johnson, you see that at 25.5 points and rebounds, we get about a 54.3% chance or minus 142 odds of him going over this line. Now, you take a look at some of these other books, like DraftKings, like BetMGM, they've already got him up at 26.5 points and rebounds. So Prize Picks, before long, will probably end up bumping this line up to 26 PR or maybe even 26.5 points and rebounds. But let's take a look at some of Jalen Johnson's recent game logs now that we know that it is a plus EV play for the over. Now, taking a look at his game logs here, you're going to see that he's played in a total of 19 games this season. When you look at these games, you're going to be like, man, it's 7 for 19. That's only a 37% hit rate. He's only averaging 23.3 points and rebounds. I know. But listen, the whole situation, the whole dynamic changes when you take DeAndre Hunter out of the mix. So with props.cash here, that's the site that I'm using on screen right now. When you take DeAndre Hunter out of the lineup and you look at the games played by Jalen Johnson without DeAndre Hunter, things get a whole lot sweeter, guys. 3 out of 4 games, he has gone over 25.5 points and rebounds without DeAndre Hunter. His last 3 games have been magnificent. 31 PR against Domantas Sabonis and the Sacramento Kings, 37 PR against a pretty not so tough Washington Wizards team, and then 35 points and rebounds against a good Oklahoma City Thunder squad. So not only has he been going over 25.5 points and rebounds, he's been, like I said, knocking it out of the ballpark here. 31, 37, and 35 PR in his last 3 games. Now, when we take a look at the matchup, he's going up against the Indiana Pacers. We know that the Indiana Pacers are not known for their defense, all right? As far as points allowed to opposing teams, they rank 29th, meaning there's only one team giving up more points per game to opposing teams than the Indiana Pacers are. And then as far as rebounds go, they rank 11th in rebounds, but when we look at the positional matchup here, DVP, defense versus position, we're just looking at the last 7 games. We go over to the points category. You see that the Indiana Pacers are giving up over 26, nearly 27 points per game to power forwards over the last 7 games. That actually ranks 7th highest or 7th most points per game average to the power forward spot in that 7-game span. And then we also take a look at the rebounds here. Well, those are pretty sweet as well. They're giving up over 11 boards per game. Another top 10 matchup here for Jalen Johnson in terms of rebounds. So all in all, they're giving up about 38 points and rebounds per game to opposing power forwards. So for me, I think Jalen Johnson is definitely shaping up to be an over option. But let's take a look at a few projections, and I like to go to a couple of different models. And we'll start things off by looking at one of my favorites, which is RotoWire. Guys, RotoWire just blessed me with a code. I've left a link in the description of the video if you want to take a look at RotoWire and get your hands on some of these projections and their new PrizePicks dashboard. Check out RotoWire, link down in the description. But he's projected for 27.83 points and rebounds today on a line of just 25.5 points and rebounds. So projected for more than 2 points and rebounds higher than where his line currently sits at 25.5. So for me, obviously, Jalen Johnson's looking like an over or more option against the Indiana Pacers in what is going to be one of the highest scoring games on today's NBA slate. Moving on to our next pick, it's Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans. He's at 6.5 rebounds, and it's no secret, guys, that the Zion Williamson has not been the greatest when it comes to rebounding. It's been one of the knocks against him. I mean, you've seen the TNT crew, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal saying, hey, Zion, you're just not rebounding really well. And he responded for a little while. There was a point in time where Zion was rebounding pretty well. If you go back a few games, he had massive rebounding outputs, 11, 8, 8, 11, and 10. But overall, when you take a look at the big picture here, Zion has gone under 6.5 rebounds. In the majority of the games, he's averaging just 6 rebounds per game. In fact, he's only gone over 6.5 rebounds in 11 out of 29 games. That's 38% hit rate for the over. So he's definitely going under more than he is going over in recent games. He's got about a 62% hit rate going under 6.5 rebounds for the season. Now you take a look at the matchup here against the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, against the Clippers, he's already played them once. This was back in November, toward the end of November, 11-24. He ended up with 6 rebounds. The other game that you're seeing here, that was from last season, so we don't really count or include that one. You can if you want to, but last season was a long time ago. That's like ancient history in terms of NBA stuff. So one other thing that I like about this play is that when you look at Zion Williamson at home, his rebounding numbers get even worse. He's averaging just 5.4 rebounds per game playing in front of the New Orleans Pelicans fans. That's a 5 out of 17 hit rate of going over. So if we flip that around and reverse it, 12 out of 17 times that he's played in front of the New Orleans crowd, he has gone under this number. So that's a pretty impressive hit rate. You're looking at about 71% hit rate of him going under 6.5 rebounds at home. And to top things off here, he's going against the Clippers. The Clippers rank 5th in total rebounds allowed to opposing teams, meaning that they're pretty stingy. They're pretty stingy when it comes to rebounds allowed to opposing teams. Not a very good matchup on paper for Zion Williamson at 6.5 boards. Positionally, we look at the DVP numbers over the last 7 games. We go down here and we find the Los Angeles Clippers. We got to go down, down, down quite a ways because they're not giving up a lot of boards to the power forward spot. Just 9.1 rebounds per game. Now, I know his line is 6.5, but 9.1 rebounds, when you take a look at the averages, that's one of the fewest rebounding numbers that you're going to find here as far as rebounds per game to the power forward spot. So not a very good matchup for Zion Williamson. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the plus EV information here when we plug Zion's name into the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Let's see. It was up on the board. What happened to it? It's gone now. Well, I can assure you that it is a plus EV play. Let's go over here to Fantasy Labs. They've got our back. We'll go over to Fantasy Labs real quick and take a look at his projection there. Yeah, he's projected for 5.5 rebounds, and then you see him at 6.5 boards on DraftKings and BetMGM. Minus 130, betting favorite to go under. Minus 140, betting favorite to go under. And then on FanDuel, he's at 5.5 rebounds. He's a minus 146 to go over 5.5. So betting favorite to go over 5.5, betting favorite to go under 6.5. So right in between there is obviously 6 rebounds. And I think that's where PrizePicks will end up kind of landing on this line, seeing the line movement that's happening on these sports books. Again, he's projected for 5.5 boards on Fantasy Labs. When we take a look at his projection over on RotoWire, we'll plug his name in here and get you a projection from over there as well. We open up his player card here on RotoWire. You can see that he's projected for just 6.6 rebounds, pretty close to the 6.5 number, but overall they're leaning toward the less based on his hit rates, where he's at on other pick'em sites, where he's at on other sports books, and then they factor in that projection as well. So Zion Williamson for me would be another option for the under for you to consider. So those are 2 full game picks. Now, if you want even more picks, guys, we've got a kick butt community over on Dub Club. Feel free to jump over to the Dub Club. If you want even more options than what I could provide in a little 15-minute video, I've got you covered. We're posting winning picks, me, myself, and the community. You know, we got a ton of different members in there who are sharing all the stats and information and their favorite picks, plays, and parlays over in Dub Club. It's only 67 cents per day, $20 a month. There's even 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month options that'll save you even more money. But check out the pinned comment in today's video if you're interested in joining a community of like-minded individuals who are just really focused on helping each other win more together with Dub Club. All right, now let's get into the third and final play. Now this one I said is a first half only pick. It's Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. He's coming off what was a kind of a down game for him, but tonight he gets a pretty good matchup against the Utah Jazz. Now the reason I'm going first half only on this game is because there is major blowout risk and blowout implications here. If we go over here and take a look at some of these game lines, you see that the Utah Jazz Boston Celtics game has a 14-point spread, meaning that Boston is expected to win by double figures against the Utah Jazz tonight. Total is good on this game, though. It opened at 231.5 points. It's since ballooned all the way up to 239.5 points, so there should be plenty of offense in this particular game. And I like the fact that the money line is actually trending up, so we should see more points, more rebounds, and more assists for a guy like Jaylen Brown. Now, when we take a look at Jaylen Brown's first half game logs here, he's at 15.5 first half points, rebounds, and assists. Just overall, with Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Derek White playing for Boston, I mean, he's done a pretty good job overall. 10 for 17, 59% hit rate. For me personally, I like to look for props that have a hit rate of at least around 60% or better. So this one kind of fits the bill. He's averaging 16.1 first half points, rebounds, and assists. Now, the last couple of games, as I mentioned, have been down games here for Jaylen Brown. 11 and 13 first half PRA in his last couple of games. But here's where the magic happens, all right? When we take a look at the home and road splits using props.cash, by the way, if you want access to this information, there's a link for you to use props.cash. Get started, save 25% on your very first month when you use code Curry. But when we take a look at the home games for Jaylen Brown, that's where things really start to get green here. In his 10 home games played with Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Derek White, he's actually gone over 15.5 first half PRA in 8 out of 10 games. That's an 80% hit rate. So you want to talk about consistency. This particular play, Jaylen Brown, first half PRA at 15.5, when he plays at home in front of the Boston crowd, this is about as consistent as you can get here, 8 out of 10. He's averaging 17.4 first half points, rebounds, and assists playing at home with the aforementioned players. That's nearly 2 points higher than where his line currently sits at just 15.5. So obviously things look great here. Him playing at home with his other teammates. He should have a pretty good night. When we take a look at the matchup here, the Utah defense is not very good. They rank 23rd in total points allowed to opposing teams. That's a really good matchup on paper for Jaylen Brown. They also rank 28th in assists to opposing teams, meaning there's only a couple of teams giving up more assists per game than the Utah Jazz are. And then as far as rebounds go, a little tougher when it comes to boards, so we're looking for Jaylen Brown to mostly get his PRA from points and maybe some assists there. When we take a look at the DVP here, we'll go over to the shooting guard spot and we'll take a look at what Utah gives up on a per game basis. It looks pretty sweet over the last 7 games. Shooting guards, they're giving up over 25 points per game to shooting guards. That's a top 10 number for Jaylen Brown. Another 5.6 for the rebounds, another 4.3 for the assists. So when you kind of add all those numbers together, you're looking at about 34 to 35 points, rebounds, and assists per game to shooting guards over the last 7 games. So we don't need too much for him today. Hopefully today is a bounce back game for Jaylen Brown, but if you're looking for a first half only option, I think Jaylen Brown for more than 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists looks like a really solid option. So those are your 3 picks. Jalen Johnson's points and rebounds at 25.5. Zion Williamson's rebounds at 6.5. And then we got Jaylen Brown, first half only, right here on PrizePicks. I think that's the only site that does the first half stuff, at 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What are you guys thinking? Are you liking any of these picks? Are you hating any of them? I personally like to flex everything. Play them how you want to play them, though. Maybe you add 3 more picks and make it a 6-pick. Maybe you just go with your favorite 2 and make it a 2-pick power play. The possibilities, the options, the choices are endless. Have fun with them. Good luck on all your picks today. And don't forget, today is Flex Friday on PrizePicks. So make sure you take advantage by going to the promotions tab once the Flex Friday promotion starts and use that $20 protected play. Until next time, guys, good luck on all your entries. We'll see you in the next video.